welcome to another episode of Unhinged Boys FX Reviews.
Finally got it right.
Yeah. And today we are reviewing In a Violent Nature.
Yeah.
You know what I just realized about that title?
Huh.
It doesn't mean nature as in like fucking as in human nature or like
it means a force of nature.
Yeah, no, like a forest. No, it just means nature.
Oh.
Yeah, it means like don't fuck with nature. That's basically what it's saying. Shit can fuck up in the woods. We're going to go see in theaters, and we're going to go see in the day one, 7:25. Yeah. There's like a couple people there. There's like just basically altogether there's like 4 groups of people there.
I'm gonna be honest. When the movie started and the theater didn't turn the lights off, I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, the lights didn't come off of the fucking theater. I was like.
They dimmed them, but...
You fucking bitches.
I got mad. I was like, God damn it, I was just...
Yeah, in the end, at the beginning of the movie, I was starting to get into it, but I couldn't... I was kind of out of it, too. Because fucking...
The lights.
Anyway, In a Violent Nature is basically about a bunch of teenagers take this locket...
Yeah.
From a pipe in the middle of the fucking woods. And it's also a, the whole movie also takes place a PvP shot, or whatever the fuck
POV.
POV shot.
Third
person, baby.
Over the shoulder.
Of the murderer.
Sometimes.
But most of the time, actually.
Well,
most of the time, but then sometimes, kind of towards the end, it like switches that. But the whole...
It's like 80%.
The whole thing, I don't know.
Killer's POV.
Yeah, and then most of the time it's...
Or at least 85, I should say.
Yeah, and, you know, this whole movie, you really start, when you think about it, really, it's like a whole, it really has like a whole thing.
It's like an experimental movie.
Yeah, the thing with it is that it takes the whole place of a killer, just follows the killer, but the problem with it is that we forget that when the killer isn't murdering people, he's not doing anything. All he's doing is walking around and gathering his gear to murder people, which honestly isn't fucking exciting. It's basically a horror movie if you didn't cut to the fucking people that he's gonna murder. That's why they cut. That's why in horror movies we cut to the people, because to that there's dramas happen.
I'm gonna be honest. I would have rather seen him just setting up things and like taking his time.
He doesn't set up any traps.
Well, one time.
Okay, he set up one trap.
It was more of a diversion than anything.
Yeah, he fucking hits the fucking horn.
And then runs around a house because...
Like, super fucking quick and then fucking hits a guy in the leg.
Yeah.
But, yeah, anyway, it's basically just, you know, it's in the middle of, in the woods, there's like this weird burnt down cabin and like there's a pipe.
It's supposed to be a fire watch or tower, and...
It didn't really look like it.
It didn't look like it at all.
I think it burnt down or whatever.
I don't know.
But anyway, the whole movie basically takes place in the killer, and so it looks at this fucking pipe that's on the ground, and there's a necklace, and we can see the main characters, like the teenagers, talking in the background. You see that mostly up and towards the end, and I feel like the reason why they do that is, you know, because you need to figure out that it is about nature itself, and it's not about the killer.
It's really to give backstory and lore.
Yeah, and
to world build.
Basically, the killer, after the necklace gets stolen, it's like kind of, this movie is very much a slow burn, because in the beginning,
it's a slow burn.
He's like slowly coming up from the ground, like the pipe falls down. And when that happened, I was like, oh, this seems actually interesting. Something's interesting gonna happen. He's gonna come out. He's gonna start whooping ass.
No.
Kind of happens, I guess. But
yeah, you guess.
This next part is where the movie kind of dies for me, because it's just like, what the fuck's the point?
The first kill is a cutaway, and I got really like scared.
Yeah, like, see, the thing that I figured out what they did in this movie, because not every kill's like that, which is weird.
Well, I will tell you why they did that. It's like, because all their budget went on the spoiler alert, everyone knows about this scene. The yoga kill.
Yeah.
That is where all the budget went.
See, like, half of these...
Pretty much.
But here's the thing. Half the kills, like, they go in a pattern. One kill we don't see, but we only see the aftermath of it.
Yeah.
And then, fucking... Then we see one where he just straight up, we just see somebody get fucking murdered. He just cuts somebody's jaw off, the bone saw. And then it goes back to just fucking, we don't see him kill the person. We only see the aftermath of the body.
Well...
Like, with all the other fucking parts that happen.
There's a really long scene right before the yoga kill, actually.
Yeah, like after he kills this one guy with like a bone saw or whatever, and he goes into like this cabin, which takes fucking 5 minutes. He's literally just looking around.
It's longer than 5 minutes, I can tell you that. It's just to have him like look around and stuff.
Fuck.
I'm gonna be honest. It bored the shit out of me watching that scene. I was just like, come on. You can edit some stuff out. Goddamn.
To be honest, I kind of fell asleep for most of the parts.
I wish I fell asleep through a good bit of the movie, because fuck.
I was only really up for, like, the parts where he actually does shit.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't 100% hate it. But there was definitely issues with it for me.
I feel like in another universe, I would have liked this movie a lot more, because they would have probably cut it down. They would have actually showed him do interesting things. If they would have showed him do like shit, like set up traps, do something more. I mean, he spies on the kids, and then that's how we fucking learn more information about them, like how the fucking one of the teenagers invites her ex-boyfriend, and
I don't know why the fuck that was a thing. That was fucking just pointless and really went nowhere with that.
The boyfriend's pissed off. He's like, you brought your fucking boyfriend, ex-boyfriend. And she's like, really? Really? You're gonna get mad? And it's like, what? Bitch, why did you invite your ex-boyfriend? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, like, I was listening to the dialogue and I was just like, wow, this is atrociously bad. This feels like what I would be hearing in a video game that's trying to be like a parody or something. It was horrible.
You're gonna go, back to that gas station, see those hippie chicks, and then what the fuck did they start chanting after that?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Like, bitch boy, bitch boy. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, he basically, the whole movie goes around.
You're probably not going to be attached to any of them.
Yeah, I mean, the movie's interesting. It's like, but it's just, there's interesting parts, and then there's parts where basically nothing happens.
I will say,
like, we got bullshit kills you don't see, and then we got parts where he doesn't do anything. There's really only a couple parts of the movie which is actually good. If they literally just made every kill interesting and made
they were working on a
few parts,
low budget,
a few parts, then it would have been a lot better, honestly.
No, if they cut a good bit, because holy fuck, you don't need to leave very long scenes of nothing happening in a movie.
I don't know. I do like how
I could physically feel myself getting on with my day.
Yeah, like it literally, it's just, it was really a combination of fuck. Like, there's like 75% of it was boring and long, and then a good 25% of it was actually good horror movie shit.
Yeah. Like,
legitimately, like, here, before we fucking move on into it, let me explain the backstory of fucking Johnny, which I think is actually a good backstory.
I mean, I didn't...
'cause that's the name of the murder. His name's Johnny.
I mean, I didn't have any problem with the backstory at all.
Basically, the whole thing is that Johnny was, like, a kid with, like, special needs, and his dad owned, like, a logging company.
And he overcharged for things.
And Johnny would play around, and then one day...
one of the workers...
like,
tripped and fell on one of his trucks or toys or whatever.
And everybody got pissed off at Johnny, and they wanted to play a prank on him, so they got him to the fire tower.
No, they didn't want to play a prank on him. They actually...
They wanted to fucking scare him, but it accidentally, like, fucking made him fall off the fucking tower and kill. And he ended up falling and dying. And then at one point, I guess his dad died, or...
Oh, yeah, no, his dad confronted them, and then he got murdered.
Yeah, I didn't hear that part. I think I kind of blacked out. I don't know what the fuck. But for some reason, I missed that part.
And nobody was found guilty. Because it was a self-defense kind of thing.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, one day, all the workers at the fucking logging company are just
getting
dead.
Slaughtered and massacred or whatever.
They were found dead, and their excuse was that they all had food poisoning, and an animal showed up and just mauled them. But apparently somebody said that they saw a guy in a fucking... By the way, it's not a scuba mask, it's a firefighter's mask.
Yeah, I thought it was a scuba mask. I've never seen a fucking firefighter's mask.
It's supposed to be like an old, ancient, like an old firefighter's mask. Like like one of those old ones. Like
I will say, I didn't have a problem with how the killer looked, though.
Yeah, the killer
I thought he looked fine.
But the killer looked great. He was fucking... murdering people, and when you see, and the yoga kill, I admit it was pretty good, but it was just kind of like how Terrifier did it. They had one fucking interesting kill that they used all their budget on. That's basically all it was, that kill. Like, where basically he shoves a fucking hook into her stomach, and then I don't really know how the fuck he does this. Then he takes the other end of the hook.
And then her neck breaks and like shoves it through her stomach. Her head through her stomach.
Yeah, he somehow finagles that and then starts pulling her head.
And then you get a really long way scene where he just like kicks the body down the thing. Down a ravine.
And he does that, and then he just gathers his chains, like, you know what? I'm gonna keep these. Because the whole movie is just throwing away his weapons. He's like, it's tough, but I think it's worth it. By the way, her whole death was stupid because she just turned around.
Oh, yeah,
she could have fell
She didn't
down.
even... I don't even remember
she
her
wouldn't
screaming.
even died from the fall. She just, like, was like... She's in the cliff and was
just like...
It wasn't even a cliff. It was like a slope. And she was like...
Yeah, she got
dead.
She got stabbed and just... Her face was just like this.
Yeah.
Like, she was like... Are you gonna do it, or... Back to this kill real quick.
Yeah.
Before this, you get like they're swimming or whatever. Like two of the girls are swimming right before the yoga scene, and he like just walks into the lake or whatever. It's a really far away shot, and then we don't necessarily leave that shot for a while. And then you get a far-away shot of her drowning.
I do like how basically we just see the POV shot, and it's just him standing there, and then he just walks into the water.
I wish like we could have gotten like
switches.
I know this would have been really kind of difficult because I don't even know how you would do it, but it would have been cool.
In the water.
Yeah, like it would have been cool to show him underneath the water and like show the legs above. I don't know how they would have done it, but it would have been cool.
But you know what I found would have been funny?
Huh.
I'm pretty sure if he couldn't swim up or jump up, and he just realized that he's like, oh shit, she's too fucking high up. There's a fuck.
Yeah, when he was saying this to me in the theater,
I'm pretty sure he used the hook. I swear to God, I'm pretty sure he used the fucking hook to get her. I'm pretty sure that shit was too shallow. I don't think he could have got up. I think he was waterlogged.
He was saying shit to me in the theater, and I was almost fucking laughing out loud.
Funny. I mean, what if he couldn't jump? What if he couldn't swim up there and he was like, shit, and he had to do this shit? Just fucking, that's all I imagine. Just fucking, just start chopping her up with the axe.
Well, I guess let's move on to the car scene with the ex-boyfriend and them, because that's what's up next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Where like, oh yeah, like he basically shows up there and
In
they
random part of the woods.
Yeah, the friends, half of the other friends go look for the other friends because they haven't showed up in a while, and the one other random guy and like the other boyfriend of the main girl.
Anyway,
stay there.
Someone threw they're fighting or whatever, and they threw their the other person's keys in the woods. He picks up the keys and he's like, ooh. No, he takes it back to the cabin or whatever, and Johnny sets up like a little diversion or whatever. He runs around the house to get the axe, whatever, and I'm like, that's the quickest he's ever ran through this movie. Or quickest he ever moved.
He's like, I'm on a time limit.
And then I think he missed.
See, if you had more shit like that, it'd be more interesting. But it's just like...
And then there's they shoot him or whatever, he gets stunned, and
This is funny.
he gets up after a while. You're just looking at him. There's another guy there as well with a gun. He slashed one of the guy's legs or whatever, so he's hurt. And they just go off in the woods about like maybe a minute into the woods, and he just picks up a rock, or no, not a rock, an axe, and just chucks it off camera. And I was like, oh, that would have been kind of cool to see.
Why didn't we see the axe going in the air?
And then he picks up a rock and smashes the other guy's head in. Just drops a rock on him.
Like if I was gonna do something cool, if I was.
But the guy was just like, I don't know what was wrong with the actors.
See, for one, this fucking movie feels like the Friday the 13th game, and
yeah, no, it does.
And also, fucking most of these kills, I feel like is gonna be a lot more interesting, like because. I feel like with that scene with the rock, I thought he was gonna like break the guy's legs.
No, like
and then break
the guy's just
rib
like
cage and then hit him in the fucking.
He didn't even scream that much. He was just like, oh,
but that
and then just accepted it.
Like I don't know, like I thought he was gonna go for like the whole torture thing, but
yeah,
he doesn't.
He just
really.
kind of dispatches them quick and like just moves on.
Except for one fucking kill.
I guess if you can say it's quick.
Which I think we're getting to right.
No,
here,
this
right?
felt like it took 15 fucking minutes, and I.
So basically, yeah, there's only like I think 2 people left now, and they go to the
ranger station.
The sheriff station, I think.
No, it's a ranger.
I don't know. I think they call the fucking sheriff, but the sheriff showed. Isn't he a sheriff?
No, he's a ranger.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
He was wearing a green shirt.
Oh. I guess that's why the guy in the beginning was telling him to fuck off. I would have told him fucking
so Ranger Joe
fuck off too.
So Ranger Joe is actually the one that has put him down before or whatever or killed him in the first place. I wasn't.
No, I think his dad was the one that
killed him.
I don't think killed him. I think fucking basically was the one that was foreseeing the investigation of the murders. I don't know. I didn't hear the part where I didn't hear the part where the dad died. So I guess maybe the Ranger's dad was the one that killed him previously, and that's why it happened. But anyway, I don't know.
Anyway, they shoot him or whatever. The guy shoots
Ranger's
him.
got a shotgun.
And then they walk up to him and they tell we're just looking at him and their feet at this point. For the whole scene basically, and the guy tells him one of the college kids to go get some chains over, and he's like, "Yeah, I can't do it," or whatever. He's
what
like,
do you mean you can't fucking? You got the chains. Chain them up, fucker.
He's like, "All right, I'll do it then." You hold
Why don't you get the girl to chain them up? She's right there.
And then Johnny grabs the shotgun or whatever, and Ranger Rick is fighting.
He's like, "No."
And he threw him off, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what the fuck happened here.
Johnny like hit him with the butt of the shotgun, I think, and then the Ranger fell, and then Johnny got up, and then the Ranger was crawling, and
Yeah.
Johnny grabbed him by the hair, and then I guess pulled back so hard that it broke his fucking spine and paralyzed him.
I'm gonna be honest.
And fucked up his
'Cause
neck so he couldn't talk, I guess.
The kids run away or whatever.
Why the fuck didn't that kill him? Because it did kill him. You see perfectly that he's still cautious.
Like
he feels shit.
he's like blinking his eyes. The kids ran away at this point.
They're like, fuck this, we're
And
gone.
Johnny goes to turn on a thing. He's gone for like a good minute or two.
It's a wood splitter.
And you're just focused on Ranger Rick's face. His name's not Ranger Rick. I'm just calling him that because I don't know his name. But
Ranger Rick.
he's blinking. I'm like, I don't know what happened, but I was under the assumption that he was just faking it and playing dead.
Anyway, he literally like he starts by cutting a piece of wood, and then he cuts the Ranger's arm, which it's completely pointless.
Yeah.
Because the arm comes off immediately, and we don't see really Ranger Rick's fucking face reaction because he's paralyzed. He can't move. He can't scream. And then we switch to him to where his neck is like on the machine, and he turns on the machine, but you can see obviously it's a fucking dummy because we can see the outline of like the fucking like the fake dummy neck and shit and whatever the fuck, and then he like cuts his neck off. The neck just fucking comes off. His head comes off, and he's like, well,
Like they're out in the woods talking or whatever, and Johnny's just sitting there, and we just got a still shot of basically of him just staring at nothing. Yeah.
Because I blacked out.
And they're like, shit, I think he sees us. You're only hearing their voices at this point. He's just staring off in the darkness, and they're like, shit, I think he sees us. And they don't come out for like a good minute or two, and I'm like, come on, fucking, you gotta edit your shit down. Like, this is, I'm gonna be honest, it's maybe a good, interesting watch for majority of the movie, but
for like scenes like this where it's like kind of
when
intense,
Johnny's on camera, it's good.
And you can hear like the kids in the background
Most of the time.
You can hear the people in the background, and you hear him, and you're like, I wish there was more scenes of like him looking for them, and then being like, shit, be quiet. And then he's like, and they're like, and he fucking grabs him. I wish there was more scenes like that, because that's more intense. That's a good way.
I wish he was a little bit more aggressive, though.
Because it'd be like a surprise. It'd be like, we don't know where they are, because Johnny doesn't know where they are, but we can hear them. That means Johnny can hear them. And then he goes near where, and it gets louder and louder to where he goes. That would have been more interesting. But instead, he just like stands still, and we can hear him, which I guess means Johnny can also hear them.
Well,
and then all of a sudden, fucking fucking shit happens.
Well, I will say, like, in the second movie, they need to have better pacing, and he needs to be a little bit more aggressive.
It's just like, I don't know, they just really stuck with the whole premise of sticking on him.
Yeah.
And then they didn't really think of
I think
interesting
a lot of the
do.
good shots look good in the movie. It's just, they could have cut a good portion of the movie down.
They just didn't think of interesting things for him to do. They just thought of the most bare bones shit, and then they thought of the fucking yoga scene. That's about it.
Yeah. One of the guys is like, alright, I'm gonna go distract him or whatever.
And
then he like appears behind Johnny. And he's like, "Hey, you!" And Johnny just turns around and fucking immediately.
That was shocking to me. I was
and
like,
he just spends like just.
And then after that, there's a good portion scene of the woman, of the girlfriend. She's like has the bear trap and the fucking
She
gas.
just kind of sets it down, and I think the movie could have just ended right there.
She's like, fuck this? Takes the necklace, puts it on the gas tank, and then fucking runs. And then after that, we have like a whole fucking probably 10
scene.
to 15-minute scene where she like can hear the wood, the chopping noise that Johnny's doing, and she thinks Johnny's chasing him.
You don't see Johnny after this, I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah, I know. And then eventually she catches up. She finds a car. And the woman's
and
like,
then she spends 15 minutes going on about a monologue about bear attack
yeah,
that she's really referencing just Johnny. She's just looking off into the empty woods or whatever.
Because she's not sure if Johnny's going to show up or not.
Because the car is stopped because the lady's got to put like a bandage or like stop the bleeding or whatever before she like dies of blood loss.
As if she got cut or something.
And she's like looking into the fucking woods and it's just nothing. There's no one there, but you're hearing flies, and then the movie just ends.
And then it goes back to the gas can, and then the necklace is gone. To be honest, I feel like they should have kept the necklace on the fucking gas tank.
Yeah.
Because it would have been more interesting. Because it would have been like both. I don't know if he's still out there, and also if he's not, that means he's waiting for somebody to pick up that fucking necklace again, and he's gonna come back up from that fucking gas tank. Like, what's up, bitch?
The movie ends though.
I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I felt like it.
A 3. I'm being generous.
Fine, because I feel like when it was enjoyable, it was very enjoyable, and what what it tried to do, it did, but it did it for too long.
I feel like this movie, if it was a lot shorter, it'd be a lot more bearable.
See, if they cut the parts and then replaced those parts with interesting shit,
yeah,
then it would have worked.
Like, this is... I really felt like this was just, like, a short film.
Yeah, it could have.
That got paced into 90 minutes.
Yeah. But, yeah, that was in a violent nature.
Yeah.
And, yeah, keep watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!
See ya.